request from the Chatham Business District for a grant of approximately $40,000 for Busker Festival this summer. The Economic Development and Tourism Department's determined that the request would warrant support of about $15,000 under a festival and events grant, which is the first management report you have. The second part of the request was money for fireworks, and Council has budgeted $15,000 for Canada Day fireworks and related events. This Buskers Festival would take place around Canada Day, so it would fit that timeline, which is the second component. And the third component is the ECDev department is dealing with the BIA to determine whether the $10,000 that is given through the ECDev department to help with programs in the BIAs would satisfy the final $10,000 component of their ask. So this is 2/3 of it, and we are hoping that the ask gets satisfied with resources that have already been allocated by council, and not have to dip into reserves of any type. So I'm not sure if there's questions, but what we are seeking is support to move this to a council meeting for sign off.
Okay, thank you, Manager. Thank you, Manager Noel. Councillor Arsenault.
Yeah, I'd be happy to move it up. I think it's, you know, the Busker Festival was a huge hit in its previous incarnation, and I know that the BIA is working diligently to get a new version up and running, and I'm really excited to see it partnering with the Fisherman's Powwow as well. So I'd like to see it move up.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Arsenault. Councillor Johnson, or
thank you, Deputy. Just a question of clarification. So the recommendation is that we provide $15,000.
1.5. Yep.
1.5.
There's two separate management reports, $15,000 for each one. Okay. One from the Civic Affairs budget and one from the tourism or the festival and events grant program.
And can you just reiterate once again what those two grants are specifically for?
The festival and event grants is for financial support of various festivals and larger events in the city, okay. Events that are likely to bring people in from out of town, more specifically. Yep. The second was council for years would get last-minute requests for fireworks support, and there was no money budgeted. So last year council budgeted $15,000. Other than a regular cake cutting ceremony on July 1st that council does, the vast majority of the money for the Canada Days Fund has gone to fireworks. So this being the first time it's actually in the budget, we are asking you to consider letting that organization team with the powwow. That's how it's generally worked the last few years. And when there's been fireworks, the city has not been, for the most part, the party who has provided them. They have partnered with the powwow, or another, used to be rock and roll some years, to put them on. So this would be consistent with that. They would get that funding with the promise that they would use them for the fireworks.
Okay, thank you. I just remember though, before, and I'm not against providing the money for the fireworks, but I do believe I was one of the few people on council to vote for the Rock and Roll Festival recouping the money that they had not used during COVID for fireworks. And what did they want to use that money for again? Was it fireworks?
I'm not sure.
Can somebody refresh my memory?
Was it rock and roll?
So we didn't give the rock and roll money for fireworks that they had budgeted for the year before and didn't use and wanted to have again?
No.
Is that how that worked?
No.
I'm just asking for clarification.
No, they may not have used it, but that's a separate issue. The issue with the rock and roll was, for the most part, council was dedicated and committed to providing fireworks on Canada Day, and that didn't always line up with the rock and roll festivals.
Gotcha, and that was in August.
Yeah,
okay,
it was a separate one.
Yeah, I understand that. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you, Councillor Johnston. Any other comments? And Councillor Arsenault has made a motion to move that up. Need a seconder on that. Councillor Placey. All those in favor? Aye. To the contrary?